Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday morning meditation gathering. I'm so glad you're all here to share this time together. Meditation gathers energy and strength when we meditate together. This week, we have Katherine Owen, who will lead us in meditation. And then we'll have 20 minutes of silence. And after that, we'll open it up for sharing, and we'll end at 10:45. Over to you, Katherine.
Thank you. How funny. It just kicked me out. Am I back?
You're back. Welcome back.
Very interesting. So thank you so much for asking me to lead today. I'm really finding these Wednesday meditations wonderful. And it occurred to me last night that it's actually Remembrance Day today. So I thought I'd start with a little prayer for that. So, dear God, we come into your presence and we lift up to you all those who have died in battle of any nation, any creed, all those who've been injured physically or emotionally, and all their loved ones. And we ask that they rest in your peace. And we know we're all one, and so we strengthen our own commitment to rest in your peace. And we know that by doing so, we become a channel, a gateway through which your peace reaches others. Thank you that you are. Thank you that peace is the reality. Amen. Thank you. So the lesson I've chosen today is lesson 189. I feel the love of God within me now. And we have touched on this lesson before, but hey, I love it. So here it is again. And before I start it, I wanted to put two little things out there which help me remove the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, in case they're helpful to any of you as well. So the first one is that in this meditation, even the words, I feel the love of God within me now, can set off the ego mind to go, do I? Do I really? And the meditation holds this amazing vision that as we feel love within us, so we see it out in the world, we see a world of love. And again, the mind can go, not sure about that. And what I'm seeing is a leaky roof and health issues. And so my invitation, in one of our early lessons, we're asked, we're told we give meaning to everything. And we're invited to let go of that meaning, that if we let go of the meaning we've given to something, we create a space in which God's meaning can be written on it. So if at any point you find yourself striving or comparing, just let the words be meaningless. It can sound sort of paradoxical, but it's really enough that we're here. Well, our little willingness has brought us here, my goodness, to join minds. How powerful is that? And just to hear the words and do the mind training is enough. So that's the first one, just to let go of striving. And the second is that when I do, I feel God's love within me now. I can locate a feeling in my body. And I think there's, that's delicious. I think there's a validity to that. And I think there's an even greater invitation, which is that the reason we can feel God's love within us is because we are within God's love. We are the drop that's in the ocean. And Sharon's not doing the gong today. I'm leading us into meditation. And I'm going to do that using a shortened version, which is, God, I feel your love. And of course, if you want to use God, I feel your love within me now, you can. But that's a really short little anchor to bring us back. And yeah, the invitation is not just to feel it within us, but to feel ourselves within God's love. Because where else can we be? There's nowhere else. It's where we are. So I'm going to start the meditation now. And just find yourself a comfortable position. And if you need to stretch, and just get ready to set aside a time of quiet, to join minds in this amazing circle with other people and to feel God's love. And if you wish to do so, I invite you to close your eyes. God, I feel your love within me now. God, I feel your love within me now. There is a light in me the world cannot perceive. With my physical eyes, I do not see this light. I am blinded by the world. Yet it was not placed in me to be kept hidden from my sight. It is here for me to look upon. This light is a reflection of the thought I practice now. God, I feel your love within me now. As I do so, I see the world anew. I see the world shining in innocence, alive with hope, and blessed with perfect charity and love. This world welcomes me and rejoices that I came. This world sings my praises. It is a warm and gentle home in which to stay a while. This world blesses me throughout the day. This world watches through the night as silent guardian of my holy sleep. This world sees salvation in me and protects the light in me in which it sees its own. This world offers me its flowers and its snow in thankfulness for my benevolence. God, this is the world your love reveals. I have seen a world through darkened eyes of fear. But that world is wholly meaningless. Instead, I see this world in which forgiveness shines on everything. Peace offers its gentle light to everyone. I look out from endless wells of joy. I see joy's sure reflection everywhere. I look upon that which I feel within. God, I choose to feel your love within me now. And so I look out on a world of love. Today I seek to reach what is true in all of us. God, I feel your love, which knows me perfect as itself. Your love bestows the gift of sight on me. I am not denying your love, and so it is here. God, I feel your love. God, I feel your love. God, I feel your love.
Yeah.
And now become aware of your body. Become aware of your breath. And when you're ready, open your eyes and come back to full waking consciousness, bringing back with you greater knowledge that the love of God is within you and you are in God's love.
We have approximately 20 minutes left for sharing and reflections and any questions for Katherine. If you'd like to speak, raise your hand or use the reactions button at the bottom of the screen, and I'll take you off of mute. And if you'd like to ask Katherine a question or a comment in confidentiality, you can use the chat function at the bottom of the screen and I'll read it out. Lynn.
I just wanted to say thank you so much, Katherine. That was so poetic, the way you read that lesson. It really touched my heart. I just wanted to say thank you. I'm done.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm feeling very grateful for that. The power of joining in that beautiful lesson. Thank you.
And we have a comment, chat. It says, that was beautiful, Katherine. Thank you so much.
It looks like some people haven't come back yet, so they're still in God's love.
Place to be. Dennis, would you like to say something?
That was beautiful. It's left me speechless.
Thank you, Dennis. I'm enjoying the silence.
Terry, take yourself off of mute.
Katherine, you've got a beautiful voice, you know, and really, really conducive to allowing us, or me, I can only speak for me, I guess, to trust going into the silence at a deeper level and meeting that love of God. And it was really beautiful. So thank you, Katherine. One of my favorite teachings, a student of Rumi asked, does God exist? And Rumi replied, to speak of the possible existence of God is like a fish asking if the ocean exists. And of course the ocean exists, and of course the fish swims in it and lives in it. And, you know, in God we live and move and have our being. You know, we get that from the Bible, don't we? And it's the same message this morning. You know, the love of God is in me now. It sustains me, it nourishes me. You know, when I came in, people were talking about the game changers and veganism and stuff. And I once met somebody who knew the person who's a breatharian, and you know, said that she was actually genuine. And this particular person stayed at my house once about 20 odd years ago, And the whole weekend that this person, she just ate, she used to grow little seeds and just eat the seeds. And that's all she had all weekend. And she was training with this breatharian. And the concept is that we are sustained by the love of God. This is a step too far for most of us. Granted, it certainly is for me. I like my food. But it's an interesting concept, isn't it? And they reckon that in 100 years' time, this will be common practice for a lot more of us. You know, the prana, light, we are nourished by light, and just like plants can feed off that light, and then we eat that light indirectly by eating plant-based diets and stuff. So we are nourished. And all of that is wrapped up in what you led us in this morning. The love of God is in me now. It's in every cell, every atom, every molecule, every part of us. So thank you, Katherine.
Thank you, Terry. You're shining. And I love that you mentioned "In him we live and move and have our being," which is a Bible quote, but there are so many, you know, the Bible's quoted on every page of A Course in Miracles. So I looked it up, and it is referenced in the course. So in workbook lesson 197, it says, "To everyone who lives will Christ yet come, for everyone must live and move in him." So it is in there.
Kirsty, would you like to ask a question?
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Katherine. That just to echo what everybody else has said, that was really beautiful, really lovely. And I was listening to the prayer that you were giving, and one of my children's off sick, so I've told her, you know, just give me 20 minutes at least. And I was really getting into that place of really just what you were saying, trying to locate the place where you can feel the love of God within you. And then just when I got to that place, there was a banging on the door, and my dog started going off, and I couldn't ignore it. It was somebody there, and it was a delivery, and my dog, and it took, and dealing with this delivery took goodness knows how long, and I missed a lot of the meditation because of, and even if I'd have ignored him, he would have probably looked through the window and seen me, and my dog wouldn't have stopped, and I had to do it. I'm just wondering if you think that there is something within me that's some ego is bringing this about, or something, you know, it always seems to happen. Whenever I hit that place of, oh my goodness, wow, something happens. I'm just wondering, is that me doing it, or is it just life? Just wondering if you had any take on that.
Thank you for sharing, and I really relate. And just to tell you, I was telling Dan and Teresa that well, I didn't tell them this bit. It's been a long time since I've led something or given a talk or anything. So it feels quite big doing this today. And 4 days ago, my computer just stopped, just broke down. So I'm borrowing someone else's computer. And so, yeah, I was laughing at that. Like, I mean, what comes to mind, Kirsty, is you are powerful. You are a powerful being of light, and there is something in you that so has a longing and has a commitment to feeling God's love within you. And there's another part of you that is scared of that because you have such an ability to do it. It's like, yeah, just keep regardless of what happens and the distractions, just keep going back to, this is the decision I'm making. You know, while I walk to the door and answer the delivery, while I'm feeling annoyed about it, while I'm asking myself, is this all my fault? Is there something especially bad about me that's making this happen? Even in that moment, I feel God's love within me now. I may not feel it as a physical feeling, just as this lesson makes really clear that we're not being expected to look out and see with our physical eyes this love everywhere. This is our spiritual vision. This is our commitment to knowing that that's the truth. And I think it might be useful to think of ourselves as also having, as well as spiritual vision, having spiritual feeling, which is not one that we ask to feel. You know, you're going to the door, you're irritated, why has this happened? And I feel God's love within me now. None of this changes it. I am so in God's love, there's really nothing I can do about it. So delivery man, children, dogs, forget it. I feel God's love within me now. Just, it is true, Kirsty. It is true. Is that helpful? Kirsty? You're muted.
Sorry, Catherine. That's brilliant. That's really good. Because of course it makes me think, oh, this is just hopeless. This is just hopeless. I can't do it. I can't do it. There's always something. It's always something with me that happens, and it's either big and crisis-like, or it's just a mild irritation. It's always something. But to hear you say, well, it doesn't actually make any difference. Doesn't matter if you're going through a crisis, doesn't matter if you've got a mild irritation, you're still within the love of God. As Terry was saying, you're still the fish that's swimming within the ocean. And you can just work that into your practice, I suppose, rather than actually having it fling you out of your practice by self-judgment. Because that's it, I go into self-judgment about it. So thank you, Catherine, that really does help.
Oh, you're welcome. And Kirsty, I would add, I know Kirsty. So Kirsty, you know enough about my life to know that it's full of bumpiness. So if you're prepared to believe that God's love's within me, then if it helps you to remember that within my very bumpy life, God's within me, then remember it's within you.
I have something in chat here. It says, I think Katherine should call me every day to do that. Sheer bliss. But because it's in chat, I can't say who wants you to call. And I have another one. It says, I just get more and more frustrated because I don't feel anything. And it seems that the rest of you do get it.
Sort of similar answer to Kirsty. And Kirsty, well, I don't know if I was going to say Kirsty and myself, but I'm now including myself. Kirsty's often very honest in this group about her frustration with meditation. So no, you're not the only one. And if you were the only one, how amazing that you're sitting in a circle with all these people who are feeling God's love and you're totally connected with them, and therefore it's in you as well. So one of the things I said at the start is to let go of striving. What we do with this is like, I feel God's love within me now. Oh my goodness, I am not feeling it. Something's wrong with me. Just let go. You're here. You're here. And if you weren't here, you'd be reading it in a book. Like, we try to make the words mean something, or we try to compare ourselves with this place where we're going to just be blissed out 24/7. And we don't need to. We're told our part is very small. We're even told that we don't like the idea that our part is very small, because it's insulting to us that it's really up to the Holy Spirit. So just saying the lesson, my goodness, let alone being here sharing minds with this circle today, is enough. And in that moment of knowing it's enough, you sort of create a space to let it in. That's my experience. Yeah, you don't feel it, you don't feel it. It's still there.
It's beautiful. Now there's a comment here in chat, and I think this is for Kirsty. Maybe the delivery man needed some love from you.
Needs some love from God.
Needed some love from God. Oh yeah, and you. And then another one. It said, just before the call, I met with someone who was giving me a lot of their problems. It could be too much leaves on the grass, etc. I managed to pull myself away, came back into the flat and found that I was agitated, and also realized I hadn't taken my meditation or eaten. I did that and came to the meditation still a bit annoyed with myself for being annoyed so easily. I couldn't settle at the beginning, so reminded to let the words be meaningless and asked what was all the unsettling about. The thought came that I thought the love of God or the peace of God could be taken from me. Therefore, the message today that the love stroke peace of God is within us, and or we are loves God or peace, God's, and that was that was so relevant. Thank you, Katherine.
Welcome, thank you.
And then another one says, it is said by experienced meditators that the better your meditation, the more obstacles can arrive. But I don't care. I'll go on. And then somebody else said, you certainly got some love from my dog. That's from Kirsty. Anyone else like to say something? Raise your hand. Okay. Celia.
Hello. Katherine, that was a wonderful meditation. It was so deeply peaceful. It took me a long time to come back. I just want to relate something to you which happened to me yesterday. I'm in lockdown and I'm in my 70s, so I'm at home with my husband. But I feed the birds outside and I had run out of suet pellets. So I went to the shop in the car and got the suet pellets and came back. And as I was driving back, I got the message to just see everybody as a son of God and send them blessings. So I was driving along, looking at all the people walking past and going to work, because it was quite early in the morning. And I was blessing people and making sure that I knew that they were spirit. And it was a wonderful practice. It didn't actually affect my driving. And this was proceeding, and I was coming home. And then I got a further message that said, this is actually all that your journey is about. This is what you need to be doing. Nothing to do with bird food, just blessing and seeing people as they really are. And it just occurred to me that all the things that happen to us in our daily lives are nothing at all to do with what we're really here for and what we are really doing. So I just wanted to ask you to comment on that, if you would.
Oh, I wasn't ready for a comment. I was so enjoying listening.
Sorry.
I agree with you. I agree with you. And to have compassion for ourselves, because that seems to be coming up today, that we do just get lost in the suet pellets.
Yes. Yeah.
And but yes, I totally agree with you. And also it's delicious, isn't it, when you go there and remember to bless everyone, my goodness, because you receive the knowledge that you're a son of God in that moment. And yeah, just feeling the power of you doing that, Celia, especially with everything going on. And I really feel what a contribution we're making today by resting in God's love to bring that through us into the world. Or yes.
I would say that you're absolutely right. When in this state, life is effortless. There's no pressure. There's just delight, and it is a wonderful place to be.
Thank you.
I have one more chat to read. It says, I love what was said about the striving, and so glad Kirsty and others have been so open in sharing struggles with meditation. Thank you. It helped love stroke compassion flood into my own struggle there and relax into truth that even love is present in that. That was beautiful. And we've come to the top of our meditation, so take yourself off of mute and let's show our appreciation to Katherine.
Thank you,
Catherine.
Thank you,
Catherine. It's lovely.
Thank
Thank you, Anna Teresa, and the team.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Celia.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for taking part and commenting.